On January 24th, 2023, YouTubers Zach and Ali from Nomadic Habits posted a video capturing one of the most terrifying experiences of their lives. While camping in their van near Bridge City, Texas, a peaceful day quickly spiraled into chaos as severe weather alerts began to pour in. At first, it was just a tornado watch, something Texans are familiar with. But as time passed, the warnings grew more urgent. Their voices, calm at first, soon cracked with rising panic. With no time to flee and the storm barreling toward them, they abandoned the van and took shelter in a ditch. Rain hammered the ground as the wind intensified and the pressure in the air shifted. Then came the unmistakable roar. Trees bent under the force, and visibility vanished. The two clutched their dogs and huddled into the earth, the storm screaming overhead. For a moment it seemed like it would all end there. But against all odds, they survived.
It's 10:50 this morning, and the warnings continue to get closer and closer. Yeah, I'm freaking out, just a little bit, a lot of it. I'm freaking out a lot of it, actually. I lied, a lot of it. I'm serious. Pay attention to what's going on outside. I'm not kidding.
Baby, come on,
When the video was uploaded, it quickly went viral. Viewers were struck by the raw fear visible on their faces and the sheer desperation of the moment.
Look, this camper got...
Many commented on how emotional the footage was. Some admitted it brought them to tears. I literally got tears in my eyes. And others were moved by the compassion shown among campers as they looked out for one another in the aftermath. Some viewers suggested the tornado may have been rain-wrapped and nearly invisible, making their survival miraculous. What began as a simple evening in the van became a haunting, near-death encounter, etched into memory and captured forever on camera. What do you think saved them that day? Let us know your thoughts. And now, let's move to the following disturbing video. In 2021, a YouTuber, Matt Field, accepted a chilling dare from a friend to spend the night alone in a remote cave, deep in the wilderness. The same friend had warned him of a disturbing experience he'd once had there. But Matt, known for his extreme solo survival adventures, took the challenge without hesitation.
I've got the dryers from hell. It's bloody hot. Flies are friendly. Life's good. We're getting it done. Can't be too far away. I'd love to get there before it's dark at all. Quickly have a look at this. Hello? Oi! Oh man. Alright, so as you can see, we've made it to the entrance of the cave. Here it is, literally standing above the hole right now.
Armed with only basic supplies and no water, he hiked for hours before reaching the cave. Crawling through narrow, jagged openings, Matt explored the pitch-black interior by flashlight, documenting every moment. For a while, it was silent until the rocks started falling.
I'm not really too sure what is. Have a go at this. This is home for the night.
Near the entrance, something began moving. He felt watched, a presence in the dark, just out of sight. At 11 p.m., while quietly eating dinner, Matt froze. A deep metallic clang echoed from the ladder he had descended hours earlier. The heavy chain had shifted, but the air was still. There was no wind.
Coming in here, there's no wind even for cup. Holy shit. Oh my fucking god. Look. You must have heard that just then.
He wasn't alone. The noises intensified. Metallic scraping, thuds in the dark, and then hissing. Human-like whispers, impossible to explain. Fear finally set in. Matt packed his gear and prepared to leave. But after the noises quieted, he hesitated. Instead of fleeing, he moved closer to the entrance and stayed the night, too afraid to go deeper, too stubborn to leave.
Holy shit. That's not normal, dude. Well, I'm freaking out. That's that chain. That chain's moving. The only thing it can be, like, this is a public cave. People can come in this cave. The thing that's strange, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Why would anyone come in here?
Hours later, as dawn broke, he escaped. He never returned.
That was definitely a different experience. But we're up and we're out and we're living. We're alive. We made it through the whole entire night in the cave. Dehydration levels are extremely high.
Viewers were shaken. Many believed the real danger wasn't the cave itself, but the trek to it without water, something even seasoned explorers wouldn't risk. Others felt something more primal was at play. A buried instinct warns us, like it did our ancestors, that caves are not empty. They're homes to predators, sometimes human, sometimes not. Whatever it was, it moved that chain, and it wasn't wind. In December 2017, a YouTuber known as Rody uploaded a video that broke away from the usual peaceful tone of his off-the-grid travel content. Known for documenting life on the road, Rody typically shares tranquil views, quiet routines, and the occasional wilderness survival tip. But this time, things were different.
So this is my truck. It's a 2003 Tacoma. Got it set up with a camper shell and a little room in the bed. Back living at my house now mostly, but was out this past weekend and was headed home. It was getting pretty late, so I decided to pull off the freeway and sleep in what looked like a pretty quiet parking lot. I'll just go ahead and show it.
While camping overnight in his truck, parked in an otherwise empty lot, Rody was awoken around 1:30 a.m. by the sound of footsteps. A hooded man, unaware he was being watched, circled the vehicle and took pictures of the license plates. The back of the truck, where Rody lay hidden, was cloaked in darkness. The man likely assumed it was empty.
So it was probably around like 1:30 in the morning when I heard someone walking around my truck. And whenever you're sleeping, somewhere public and you hear somebody walking right outside your truck, it's always a little bit alarming. So what you'll see here in a second, he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures. It looks like of my license plate or something like that. I'm not sure why he was doing this. So I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to park there and he was taking pictures of my license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning.
For several minutes, he lingered, slowly making his way around the truck. Then, he approached the side and shone a flashlight directly into the vehicle. That's when Rody struck the inside of the truck with his fist, making his presence known. The reaction was immediate. The man bolted into the darkness, vanishing without a word.
So he probably wasn't expecting that. So yeah, that was basically it. He took off and I hopped out of my truck, got in the driver's seat and took off somewhere else to sleep for like 5 more hours or whatever. So this is a good example of why I never really liked to sleep in like parking lots and stuff like that. During the summers, I live out of my truck a lot, but it's always at either work or campsite. Okay, guys, real quick, look at my door right here, and you'll notice it's a little bit cracked open. And so I think what happened is I forgot to, I didn't forget, but I just didn't close it all the way when I went to bed. And so it was locked, but it was still not totally closed all the way. So this is kind of how my door was. You can see it's closed. There's a little gap. And I mean, it's locked. You're not going to get in there. But it's definitely noticeable from the side and everything. So a few takeaways I've got.
What his intentions were is anyone's guess. Theft, confrontation, or something much worse. But one thing is clear. Had Rhodey remained silent just a little longer, the outcome could have been far more dangerous. Viewers responded with concern and practical advice. Some stressed the importance of choosing safer locations, suggesting hotel parking lots as a better alternative. Others saw the incident as a chilling reminder that the most isolated spots can sometimes be the most vulnerable, and that danger doesn't always come from the wilderness. Sometimes it walks right up to your door. What do you think he was planning that night? On January 18th, 2024, YouTuber Ian posted a video recounting one of the most unsettling experiences of his stealth camping journey. A night started in a quiet McDonald's parking lot and quickly spiraled into something that felt more like a horror film than a travel vlog.
So I'm really happy with that. Super cool. So there it is, guys. There's the new lighting system. Go camping tomorrow night, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking after Robert's guinea pigs while he's away from Thailand. There they are. And if you don't know, I do a podcast called The Great White Brown Hope, and the co-host is in Thailand.
Stealth camping, often seen as an adventurous way to live minimally and travel freely, can carry unseen risks. That night in Palm Springs, Ian had parked his car, set up his sleeping area, and was beginning to drift off until he heard his car door being tried. He jumped up, heart pounding. Outside stood a man, hooded, silent, staring.
What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up, man? What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, bro. What's up? What you doing, man? You ain't fucking weird, bro.
Ian called out, asking what he was doing over and over, but received no response. The man didn't move, speak, or make a move at all. He just stood there as if in some kind of trance. Ian stayed locked inside and quickly moved the car to another part of the lot. Minutes later, the same man reappeared, now circling the parking area, possibly trying to find him again. Realizing the danger, Ian left the lot completely and found safety in another location. He survived the night. But many questions still linger.
There he is. There he is. I see him. No, is that a lady? It might be a woman. I don't know. Honestly, it's hard to tell. That's what stealth camping is like sometimes. Alright, that was definitely the craziest thing that's happened to me so far. I really apologize, guys. The lighting is not going to be great.
Viewers were rattled. Some described the encounter as something out of a horror movie. Others speculated the area was known for unpredictable behavior after dark, with local warnings about nearby encampments and unstable individuals. Some believe the man may have been on drugs, or worse, intentionally targeting parked vehicles for theft or assault. Whatever the truth is, one thing's sure: Ian's quick reaction likely saved him from something far more dangerous. On February 11th, 2024, stealth camper and YouTuber Brendan Explores uploaded a video that documented a night he'll likely never forget. What began as a curious visit to Jaywick, a small English village with a rough reputation, quickly devolved into a horrifying and dangerous encounter.
Well, it's safe to say that what you're about to watch, excuse the wind by the way, is probably the hardest and not very nicest video I've ever had to edit.
Jaywick has long been labeled as one of the most deprived towns in the UK. Brendan had heard the rumors of poverty, crime, and tension, but wanted to judge for himself. At first, it seemed like any other coastal village. But things began to shift as night fell.
Here tonight, because we've got to continue on to Jaywick in a minute. But I think it's a nice little spot to have some lunch. Press green for 1 hour free time. Oh my goodness. Spat it out at me. Maybe if I'd have paid for parking, it might have given it me in a more polite manner, should we say. Yeah, now the free parking tickets on the dash. We're going to have two things. I think I'm going to have a chicken and mushroom pot noodle, of course, classic. And I'm also going to get a nice hot cup of tea in me as well.
Searching for a discreet place to park his van, he avoided a chaotic parking lot where people blasted music and raced cars through the narrow streets. Hoping to stay safe, Brendan made the right call at the time. He left town and parked deep in the countryside, miles from any signs of life.
Right, after traipsing around for the last 20 minutes to half hour trying to find a spot, there's apparently a quiet little park up at the end here, maybe. This'll do me. I'm alone, but I mean there's no other houses around me, so it's not as if I'm alone in a housing estate.
It was a mistake. At 2:30 a.m., Brendan was jolted awake by footsteps around his van. Moments later, someone tried to slide the door open. Then, a loud crash. The passenger side window shattered as an intruder tried to break in. Brendan shouted and the person fled into the dark.
I think someone's outside the back. Someone just tried the door. Hey!
He later speculated that the break-in may have been an attempt to steal a fridge inside.
I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god. Shit.
But many viewers believed it could have been much worse, especially given how isolated the spot was. Some commented that even heavy curtains couldn't fully hide signs of life inside, and others shared their own experiences being attacked by neighbors or strangers while camping alone. That night, Brendan didn't sleep again. He drove until sunrise just to get home, and while he still posts camping videos, he now avoids remote spots. Because sometimes, silence isn't peaceful, it's a warning. In March 2025, the camping channel Sort of Interesting uploaded a video that began as a peaceful woodland adventure and ended in a chilling brush with the unknown. The plan was simple: hike the trails near Austria, England, then head off path to find a secluded spot for stealth camping.
Recipe of a fantastic first ever solo wild camp. I'm Dan Brown, and let's just go and enjoy some nice peaceful calm time in the hills. My backpack for the trip was around 8 kilograms. I packed everything.
It started off well. Daniel quickly found a perfect clearing hidden from view. After setting up camp, he wandered to a nearby river to cook dinner. By the time he returned, dusk had settled in. The trails emptied. Silence took over. It was the kind of quiet campers dream of until it turned into something far more sinister.
Dimmer lights is starting to make me think I'm sure I can hear stuff and see little flashes and that. I'm sure I can't, but I can't be sure in here where I need to be. So yeah, quick backpack rest, and then we're gonna get, in fact I might get the stove out now, find a spot on the way.
90 minutes after falling asleep, Daniel was jolted awake by the sound of branches cracking nearby. A beam of light swept through the trees. Someone or something was out there, and they weren't just passing by. They were staring right at him. Frozen with fear, Daniel could barely breathe. He finally called out to the figure. No response. Instead, the flashlight turned off, and the person vanished into the woods without a word.
Oh man, my heart is going. I swear the car that I just mentioned pulled up and somebody has got out. I don't know if it's just coincidence. I'm trying to tell myself that, but I am really, oh my goodness me. I know. This isn't fun. This. I am so stupid. I am the stupidest person I've... I'm sat on the ground. Right, put the camera off. After a while, they finally left, and so I stayed hanging around in the woods.
He waited. 5 minutes. 10 minutes. Nothing. Unsure what to do, he packed his things and fled into the night.
Along the road on my intended route to escape into the hills as quick as possible, but used my red light so that I was far less visible at a distance. And I'll be honest, at this point, I've got that.
Some viewers suggested the figure could have simply been a dog walker startled by Daniel's voice. Others felt it was far more deliberate, someone sneaking through the woods, possibly drawn in by the light from his headlamp. A few pointed out how drastically perception shifts after dark. What feels harmless by day becomes terrifying after sunset. Many agreed that leaving was the right call, because in the woods, curiosity doesn't always come with good intentions. What would you have done if you were in Daniel's place? These campers captured moments no one was meant to see. Sometimes it's not the wilderness that is dangerous. It is what follows you into it. If you have had a chilling outdoor experience, please share it in the comments and stay safe.